Want to know something that sounds completely crazy? Most of the leadership advice that you've been given, all that talk about climbing the corporate ladder or trying to get ahead, is actually the very thing that's keeping you stuck. While everyone else has been trying to succeed by looking up or grabbing onto anything that they can think might help them out, they're missing the 360 view that actually creates what I call effortless leadership excellence. Now, today, I'm going to show you a revolutionary approach called the 360 Leadership Ladder, built on a core foundation strategy that I call three up and two down. Now, this is a specific method for leveraging your network, accelerating your growth by learning from every level of your network, and I'm also going to share a simple three-question discovery tool that reveals insights that most leaders never uncover. And for you that are staying till the end, I'm going to be explaining exactly what's inside this red envelope that is sitting here on my desk. Okay. It's a single sentence that helped one of my clients see a 40% increase in team efficiency in just 3 hours. We're going to open that in a bit. Okay. But most business schools and leadership gurus, they tell you leadership is a vertical race. You look at the person above you, mirror their behaviors, you do all their grunt work, and you wait for the reward, right? The sting is that this approach is exhausting, right? It leads to what I call imposter syndrome because you're trying to fit into a mold that isn't yours. It makes you feel like you're standing on a chair in a room full of strangers and shouting, "Follow me," while everyone stares at you like you're a raccoon that just wandered into a yoga class. Pretty crazy, okay? You end up feeling this way because you're trying to lead by authority instead of influence. When you do that, everything else seems more disconnected. In essence, you're playing the part of a leader instead of actually being one. I call this the old ladder way of working and being a leader. It's a rigid path that feels disconnected from your actual values and your real world impact. The truth, leadership isn't a ladder you climb. It's a tapestry of collected wisdom that you gain and you weave together. The real secret isn't about who you report to, what accomplishments you can try to achieve, or the success behind your name. It's about how you engage with everyone around you. When you adopt the 360 leadership ladder perspective, you change your world. So, how do we build this? We use the three pillars of the 360 leadership ladder. Think of this like a master blueprint for a skyscraper. You can't just build the 50th floor. You need the foundation, the materials, and the plan. Okay, so let's take a look at all three of these pillars. Pillar one is mindset, or I like to refer to this as the fertile ground. Mindset is the ground where the seeds of leadership are sown. And if the ground is rocky or dry, nothing grows. Most people think mindset is just being positive. It's actually not. It's more than that. In the 360 model, mindset is mental agility. It's the ability to adapt, to check your ego at the door, and to have an unquenchable thirst for growth. And that's a big one. I think that's an important one that a lot of people miss out on. Pillar two is the skill and the interactions. Okay. It's the brushstrokes. If leadership is a masterpiece, then your interactions are the brushstrokes. This is where you master the art of building robust relationships. You're not just managing people, you're connecting with them. And pillar three is process and strategy. This is the blueprint. It's the master plan that aligns your daily actions with your long-term visions. Without this, you're just busy. With it, you're strategic. Now, let's get into the meat of the system, okay? The three up and the two down strategy. The three up, two down approach means that you engage first with three levels above you. Or another way to look at this is to engage with those who have been there and done that. Second is the two down. Those are the current level and or two levels below. Why does this work? Okay, let me tell you, because leadership, wisdom, and insights aren't just located at the top. When you talk to the three levels above you, you gain visionary wisdom. You see where the ship is going before it turns. And when you talk to the two levels below, you get insights into the operational truth and you hear what's actually breaking on the front lines. Now, here's the kicker. This isn't just internal. Okay, and here's the secret. You apply this to your external networks as well, your clients, your vendors, and even your competitors' spheres of contact. And here you're building a full 360-degree radar system. To take full advantage and unlock the three up and two down wisdom, don't expect that you can just go grab a coffee with someone. You need specific keys or questions. Okay, this begins when you increase your curiosity. In fact, here are the questions that I want you to start asking this week. Question one is the success factor. And you go ahead and ask, what do you consider the most critical factor in your success at this level? Okay, this reveals the hidden curriculum, the stuff that isn't in the job description, but is required to win. And question two, okay, is the differentiator. You can ask, in your experience, what behaviors differentiate a good from a great one? And this gives you the brushstrokes we talked about. It defines the style that gets results. And question three builds resilience or helps you build the map. Ask the question, can you share a major challenge that you faced, a time where things almost fell apart, and how you handled it? This is where the real learning actually happens. It's where you have the opportunity to gain access to years of painful experience in a 10-minute conversation. Now, let me show you how the 360 leadership ladder looks in the real world, and take a note. Okay? You might have experienced something like this, maybe exactly like this in the past. It was midday, and I was sitting in a glass-walled conference room with a client of mine. He was sitting directly across from me. His hands were tightly grasping his notebook, literally white knuckled, okay? And his legs were nervously bouncing up and down underneath the table. And he looked at me and he said, "Hey, I don't belong here. I feel like I'm an imposter. Why did they tell me that I had to speak with the executive VP?" And then what I said might seem a little bit harsh, or it might come across a little bit harsh. But here's what I said. I think it gets directly at the heart of it. I leaned in and I said, "Stop trying to prove that you're the leader and start proving you're the student." Okay. I then reminded him to use the 360 leadership ladder. Okay. The 3 up and the 2 down approach. And then reminded him to remember, when you come into something like this, you want to check your pride at the door. So over the next week, he spent a total of just under 3 hours implementing this. He spoke to the people 3 levels up and 2 levels down. And the payoff, that single shift led to a 40% increase in efficiency in his entire division. Now, why? Because for the first time, he gained insights that he could never have gained any other way. He stopped treating the symptoms and really started to fix the root cause. He wasn't an imposter anymore. Okay? He was the most informed person in the room. So, how do you do this without feeling awkward? You follow what I call the loop action plan. L is for look. Okay? This is where you audit your leadership identity. Where are the gaps currently in your 360 view? O is for outreach. You set a goal to book 3 2-up meetings and 2 down conversations by the next Friday, and you put them on the calendar. Second O is operate. And this is where you get to apply one takeaway that you gain from your interactions within the next 48 hours. Not more, you can just choose one so that you can make it real. P, ping back. This is easy. It's where you close the loop. You go back and you tell them what you used and what had changed. That's the loop of influence. Okay, now, a warning here. This only works if you become, and I love the saying, a lover of learning. Okay, so if you walk into these rooms thinking that you're already the smartest person there, then the 360 leadership ladder, it's not going to help you. So now you have the framework. Okay? You have the pillars, the 3 up and the 2 down strategy, and the 3 keys or questions that you should be asking. Now, about this envelope, okay? Inside is the sentence that changed my client's life and his leadership success forever. And here it is. Might be a big one here. Let's kind of get this out, see what we've got going on. And again, one of my favorite things here. If you take a look at this, okay? Changing your perspective changes your world. When you shift your mindset from climbing to connecting, you don't just move ahead. You can completely redefine your entire life's experience. And there's a lot of truth in it. Well, the next step, if you're ready to overcome the imposter syndrome that keeps you from starting these different types of conversations, I put together a free resource called the 360 Leadership Toolkit, and it includes the full list of the 3 up and the 2 down questions and some follow-up questions that we didn't have time to discuss today. So the link is in the description. Go out there, go ahead and get that. Start your 360 leadership journey, and I'll see you on the next video.